Welcome to Sound Values, powered in part by LSA Burger and Classic of Denton.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in live tonight on DentonRadio.com. We are in the beautiful Discover Denton Welcome Center on the 103-degree Denton Square right now. My name is Kind Beats, and I am chilling out with YSA, Sanford Black, Lofty Beats, and the boy Mercy. And we are five of the six Breakfast Boys. We did have Gabby down there. Gabby's hanging out. Yeah, we got the girlfriends kicking it, which is nice. Or girlfriend, just one. She
fills many roles.
Yes, exactly. You know, she waters and such.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, exactly. Especially taking care of old Beats over here. You know, he's a madman. You know, he's just a wild guy. But all right, we're gonna get down to it. So we've got some different discussions tonight. Every once in a while, we bring the boys out here and we talk. Last week we had the Ariel and the Culture. They were on. Fantastic. So thanks for taking a look at that video. It was awesome. So guys, the first thing we're going to start off as is actually something that Lofty brought up in here. And so I thought it was a good. And so he said, why do we sample? Is there a culture reason for sampling? And what are the implications? So I just kind of want to kick that to Lofty real quick. And so, why do you think we sample? And, what are kind of the implications? What are you feeling in that?
Why do we sample? Is there a culture?
And what do we sample? What is it?
Right.
Because some people might have any samples or what they get at Costco.
Well, I think the idea behind sampling is that you're taking what we perceive to be reality, and that could be unsatisfactory in your eyes, and you want to change that. So you're taking something that's already been produced, well known, and you're giving your take on it and putting your spin on it, creating it into something that's completely new. And so I think metaphorically, that's kind of what that alludes to, is changing your perception of reality or other people's perception of reality too.
Yeah. So Sanford, would you say, I've heard people describe sampling as kind of like picture collaging in a way, and so you've done some of that in your art recently.
Absolutely.
So it's taking something that's been pictured or painted or whatever and then turning it into something else.
Absolutely. And records have been, for 40 years now in the history of hip-hop. Even before, there was a little bit of sampling going on. But, taking a thing that already is there, it sounds of its own. It's an instrument in its own way. And that a saxophone is an instrument. It makes sounds. So is a record. It makes sounds. And then it was pulled, all those sounds were pulled out of there, recontextualized into a hip-hop context. And then, over that 40 years, a lot of people have taken up that medium and making brand new compositions. It's just just a sound source, It's just another
raw material.
Just raw material. It's another thing to make another thing out of.
So when we just came from Dan's down the street, you see in jazz bands and folk music, they play stuff that's been played for 100 years, 150. In folk music, you can have 500-year-old songs. Sure. But I find that the hip hop world and that kind of sampling takes a lot more flack than somebody else. Now, we can always argue talent and what it takes more and more practice. But Lofty, why do you think that? Why is it okay for the jazz, people who are playing jazz or folk to kind of cover that old music, but then sometimes when we sample stuff in a beat, somebody's like, oh, you're not a real musician.
Well, with jazz musicians, you see them in a big band setting. And so that's kind of a more obvious display of the musicianship. Whereas you see us just bobbing our head obnoxiously behind a laptop. And so people don't see the work that goes behind it. Whereas with the jazz band, it's right front and center.
Active and happening.
Yeah, for sure. And so, what would you say what is one of your favorite samples that you've used?
Favorite samples, let's see. There's this guy, John Hawkshaw. He's
old Johnny Hawk.
Do you know who I'm talking about? So I think he has this song called "A Man Alone" or something. That song is, and the piano on that is just haunting. And so. I never really sampled anything out of that to fruition because it's such a heavy sample that has so many associations with it. It's been done a whole lot of times. And so I don't know. I guess I just haven't really found anything that I want to put out with it almost. I feel like it's too big for me,
yeah.
So, or no, sorry, it's Alan Hawkshaw. There we go. It's Alan Hawkshaw, A Man Alone. Yeah.
Very cool.
Speaking
very cool.
Of Dan's, we just came from there. Juice the Emissary was playing a set like he often does on Tuesdays, and he always plays a lot of like things that I have heard sampled before. He'll play that track. He's doing that sample that Jay Dilla famously used on Donuts. My people.
Now, like YSA recently just like jumped into, you did the Akira.
Yeah.
And so like, what was that like sampling? Because like it even like went really well with the anime, with what we had up there. So like, how did you go about taking pieces from like an anime movie basically and then turning it into music?
Well, I think, that was different kind of thing than the sampling ideas that y'all are talking about, I would say, because most of, like, I would take a song from a part in the soundtrack and use most of the song and most of its original kind of structure and builds, change some stuff, and then add onto it to make it like a new electronic version, kind of more bassy thing, and make sounds to go along with it and build on top of it instead of trying to really change its motif or attitude.
Yeah, you're not cutting it up, you're adding to it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Like I did that recently with John Coltrane. I think it's his daughter. Like she put out a track, she made a song, and I just liked the piano, and I started sampling it, and then I found like the keys and the notes that actually worked with it, and then started playing over the top of it, just adding kind of more stuff to it and making it a bit more of like my own in a way. And so, Mercy, you're like, we've heard a lot of your beats, man. By the way, y'all, this is Mercy. He's new in the squad. He's been coming and killing it lately. But like your background when I asked you a while back was piano. So do you find yourself doing a lot of sampling, or do you play a lot of your stuff is very original?
I think when I first started making beats, I sampled a lot just because it was easier, like than just buying VSTs and stuff like that. And then I got to the point where I realized that VSTs are pretty much just samples. They're just like, and they're just small parts of samples, just like that someone else played and you're just playing out. So I still sample here and there, but
you have one beat that is real. It's a lot different from a lot of your other stuff, where it sounds kind of almost like a future trap kind of sound. It's like that. I forget exactly how it goes, man. But there's one track that you play that has a high pitched synth in it that has kind of an EDM feel to it, and it's very heavy.
I know which one you're talking
BRB?
about.
And it's that. Can you remember the melody at all? It's like
no, but I remember thinking the same thing about it.
Yeah, man, and like. I forget, once again, it's a high synth, and the bass is pretty hard kicking in that one.
Probably BRB.
And the high-pitched synth is kind of side chained really cool.
Does it start like slow and then the high pitch comes in like later on in the beat?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, man.
BRB.
Yeah. And so, like, that one to me is one of my favorites that you play. It's experimental and it's different, but, like, I think that one is a head turner. It always turns people's heads because it doesn't sound like it should work, but it does.
Ooh, like that.
So, yeah, that's what I like about that, too. That's what I like about
You're not an EDM kid, are you?
No, man. No, I'm not an EDM.
Like
EDM god.
Yeah, like an EDM kid, like, turned into a lo-fi kid.
Yeah, Mercy's just
like I took all the...
I just want to chill.
I took all the tricks, man.
That happens sometimes.
Low-key
Sometimes
wooking
you
out
start off an
festivals
EDM
every
kid.
I know that's you.
You just end up trying to be flamingos.
I've never
is what
been
it is.
EDM kid.
I've never been into that.
No.
So let's now, Mercy, I want to kick this back to you because we just kind of went around, and this is something that probably none of us have really gotten to talk to you a lot about. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. But the creative process, man. So you're, as far as all of us actually like present our material in a different way. Almost everybody uses a different controller or a different program. Yeah. You and I both use Ableton, but we use different controllers to present it. Mm-hmm. So what is your kind of production method? Do you like to start off with a synth, drums? What's the idea that starts behind your music? What's up?
I'm usually just like at home, just like there's really no like actual thing I sit there and be like, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do that. I kind of just mess around and then something just takes me somewhere and then I'm like, oh, I want to throw some drums. It's usually like a mood. Like if I'm sad, I'll probably start off with like some chords. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if I'm like,
I feel that.
If I feel turned, like if I'm on Lofty's mode, like I'm going like straight drums, and then I'm like, what can I build from here? And then.
But you put yourself in the studio to capture that feeling, whatever it is. You get in there and you start to work on whatever.
No, not really. I just usually keep my stuff with me, and then if I'm kind of just like at my friend's house, or if I'm at my parents' house, or if I'm just wherever I am, like I kind of just.
You wait for the mood to strike.
Yeah, if I just feel it, and then I'm just like, ooh, let me capture this. Cool. And then I'll go back and work on it later or something, and then usually it's like a period of time, and if I don't finish in that period of time, I just don't even bother.
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody else just kind of like I'll wake up and I'm kind of like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna make something that kind of has this feel, you know, or like I'll be hanging out. Like, it's definitely if I'm in a certain mood, that's what gets me. But like, I will sit down in the studio and be like, here we go, and like actively kind of search for things.
That's what I do more or less. I do it in the art studio too. It's just like be in that room that does this thing and let it happen. Just noodle around and find some sort of groove and some sort of workflow, and then dive into it.
I've been in some collaborative sessions with people before, and they'll be like, all right, well, what type of beat do you want to make? Do you want to make like an old school beat? You want to make a trap beat? Do you want to go from like what BPM do you want to make this beat at? Do you want it to be like a more airy synth or like a more like atmospheric thing? And I'm like,
it's like some SoundCloud collabs.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, can we just please start getting some sounds popping so we can figure it out? Like, I don't like going in with a game plan.
Because you don't make anything at that point. It's just like
that's one of the hardest things about collaborating with other people.
Yeah, I worry about it all the time.
You have to like be willing to literally kind of hang out with someone for like 2 or 3 hours and just let the creative process happen.
Yeah.
And you can't just waltz in unless you're like, you know, I'm not classically trained, but you know, there's certain cats who can sit down and start writing things. You know, like I can't do that. It takes time for me to be like, okay, and then. Oh, yeah, that works too, you know? Like, that's why I do so much sampling, because I'm not a very good musician.
Also, the thing about being a producer and collaborating is that our workstations are on our computers, and it's a very individualistic process. And so collaborating means we have to open that up to somebody else, and we're not used to that as much as we've been trained to produce them by ourselves.
They start putting too much compression on a thing.
And then hold up. And then you start to think like, okay, if I tell this guy that there's too much side chaining on this right now, is this going to ruin our friendship?
It's like, this could be the problem.
Yeah. And so I've been sitting there like where somebody's playing something that is just absolutely horrendous, and they're just like feeling it, and I'm like, do I have the heart to tell this person that this isn't gonna work out?
Let's do another take, man, real quick.
When
switch it up a little bit.
Sanford was live painting at Eastside the other night, and I was talking to him about like, this is impressive because I have such a hard time being creative when other people are looking at me. It's just like, put the curtain on this. I don't like this.
For sure.
Well, I'm not confident enough in all the things that I do for someone to be like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? It's like, I'm doing it because it works like this for me, but I don't know if it's the right way.
Yeah, I just forget about them and hope that they're thinking positively about what I'm doing, and if they don't, it's like, well, I'm here doing this anyway.
Just don't look at them, man.
I like it.
I mean, I can keep my eyes, but they can look at me. I don't have to look at them so much.
Well, not everybody's gonna like you know.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
This doesn't even make sense.
Shouldn't stop you from doing the thing that you want to do. So like,
like
doing
ultra
a live
realistic
it doesn't. I just do it away from people.
Yeah. Well, you turn your back to them. You can do a whole lot of things with your back turned. I don't know.
There's some kind of like
maybe that's how we should make people know there's no requests. Just turn your back to them.
Just face away.
I'm gonna print us black shirts, but then on the back it says no requests, and just turn
your roast, like the dude came up and he was like, "Yo, play Michael Jackson." I was like, "I don't got Michael Jackson, man."
Yeah, it's like no.
Literally, I had a lady when I was playing the set at the end of the show. She climbed on the stage.
Yeah,
I saw her doing it. I'm watching like, nope. And she's got about halfway to me, and I was like, no, go away, get off my stage. So, go home to your kids.
Something that I've noticed too, though, is that the requests have lessened a lot.
Yeah.
Like there used to be a time, and it can depend. Like you know, if you've DJ'd certain parties or birthday parties or like fraternity parties, sorority parties, stuff like that, the requests can skyrocket.
Yeah, you get that all the time, no doubt.
So that's why, I don't know, I just bought the double quarter-inch to aux, and you can just plug that in and be like, here. You want a DJ? Here. Plug your phone
I want to do that, but I want to get $40 out of them first.
Well,
like I'll give you 15 minutes for $40. You can do whatever you want, and then I'll come back.
What I think we need to do is we need to get card readers. And be like,
my gosh.
All right, if we're going to play jukebox, then we're going to do this that way.
That's true.
We'll get Square.
That is not a bad idea.
Yeah,
I'd swipe right here.
I'd start building up a huge library of popular stuff if people were going to start paying me for it.
I think every cover band, every cover musician, DJ, if you're playing other music or meeting requests, you should have a Square reader. That's genius. I like it. Lofty Beats. Business 101.
I don't like Juicy's Mason jar though. Like as far as throwback style, like classic,
that's old school. But what if you don't have any cash? And you're like, man, I tipped this guy if he had a card reader. You know.
So you don't get what you want. Yeah. Give me that money.
You can't always get what you want.
Give me that real stuff.
Be like a fortune cookie or something. It don't gotta be money.
What do you think? What do
Good
you
advice
think,
is enough.
Like I like those.
Yeah. What do you think is the most ridiculous request y'all have ever gotten? Like, what's one of the silliest ones? Ooh. Or just like where you're in the middle of a set and the song just does not fit.
Yes.
At all.
I had a dude at Abbey Underground years ago. I was playing like just lo-fi beat stuff. I was, under 80 BPM.
Yeah.
And this guy came up to me and was like, "Hey man, can you play something a little more up-tempo? I'm really tired of hearing this house." I was like, "No, I'm not playing house." And I dropped the tempo. I went and played something at like 68, and then stared him down for the entirety of the song, and then carried on with my set.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you can't tell me that you're missing the point. Don't come up to me and tell me that you missed the point.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I was
messed up the genre.
I was DJing a Mexican wedding in Austin on Cinco de Mayo.
Nice.
And so I'm just playing straight cumbias for cumbias like bachata and merengue, stuff like that, just for hours on end. And the bride's son was just totally smashed, and he came up and like aggressively demanded that I play Audio Slave. And I was like,
that was not the time.
I was like, you see all these people dancing to this music right now. What do you think? Just put yourself in my shoes for a second. What do you think's gonna happen if I play Audio Slave?
Here's Audio Slave with Like a Stone. All right.
Was he dancing like before that, or he just?
No,
like,
he was stumbling around.
Mid dance, he was just like, I don't want this anymore.
Man, I wonder if you could have done a remix, like find some bachata thing that's similar tempo, and then just drop the bass and highs and let the vocals.
Go listen to
come down.
Sango, man. That's probably what Sango
That's
does.
what Sango does.
That's
That's what Sango does.
Yeah,
just do
true.
Sango.
Yeah,
just play the vocal track. But
I like Sango.
yeah, Sango's great.
I like old Sango.
Yeah.
I haven't heard these things since North, so I don't know. North was so dope.
What about you, Ian? Do you have some weird request or some totally like?
I don't know. There's whenever we're out at like Monk and stuff, and I play the things I play because of the crowd there. I guess people that aren't usually into electronic music or beats and stuff occasionally come up and they're like, "Man, I don't usually like that young trap stuff, but what you're playing is interesting." But some guy said, I don't know, was asking about how stuff worked while I was mixing, and then said something like, "Oh, like Sail by that one man." I was like, "What? I don't
really
like. I don't know what
you're." AWOL Nation.
Oh yeah, he's like, like the AWOL
I was
Nation
gonna say
song?
Imagine
like,
Dragons
what?
or
I'm not sure what you mean.
It's all the same.
21 Pilots.
What helped a lot
Fair
was
enough.
you having
If
your
it is
guitar
for you,
as well.
whatever. Yeah.
Like that helped a lot for the old heads when Ian would pull out the guitar and just shred, over the top of stuff. They'd be like, "Oh,
I know what a guitar sounds like."
Did you ever see that clip that was like from the Glitch Mob, and the guy was like, they're like setting up in San Francisco on the side of the street, and the guy's like, "They're not musicians because no one is playing the guitar." It got sampled quite a bit in the mid 2000s EDM times for sure.
But on the other side, man, I had a guy ask me to play Brown Sugar by D'Angelo recently at the Monks a few weeks ago, and I was like, okay, I was a little ahead of the tempo, but I was like, okay, so I came back and just did the vocal track over the beat that was playing, and it sounded excellent. Mm-hmm. And I think the guy was like, I'm gonna do this in the future.
Man,
it's a good idea.
I've had a few that I'm like,
sugar.
oh well, this is actually really
Good request.
Yeah.
I had a guy. It wasn't Audio Slave. It was Godsmack.
Ooh, even better.
So this was when I was at Windstar. This was when I was at Windstar.
In 2004.
And we're at the pool.
Windstar 2003.
Windstar was the casino.
What a night.
Godsmack?
Yeah, I'm like mad
Godsmack had this song that was I Stand Alone.
Whoa.
They did like the Scorpion King soundtrack. And the song was as bad as the movie. Sorry, Rock, but that was awful.
It's like Pantera.
He was only in half of that.
Throwing shade at the Rock.
Shouts out to Dwayne Johnson.
It's like Stain and Pantera married
Dwayne.
together. It was Godsmack.
Yeah. And so the guy came up to me, I'm like playing, all different, dance music, rap and stuff. And he actually acknowledged it. He was like, I know this probably isn't going to happen, but can we get some Godsmack? And I was like, man, I really don't know how I'm going to incorporate that in. And then he was like, how about some Dwight Yoakam? He goes, he played here last night. And I was like, well, the fact that he played here last night, I'll do it. And he was like, here's $5. I was like, up next is Dwight Yoakam.
The money.
Yeah. Now, how do y'all? Okay, so let's say
Charge for it.
let's talk about this. Okay, let's say you go and you play a set, and you play you're playing a DJ set. It's like 3 or 4 hours. We've played those before.
Oh yeah.
And you play a
Harvest House on
track,
Friday, yeah.
and then 2 hours later, somebody comes up to you and requests that track. Do you play it again?
You gotta. It kind of depends if it's one of those money gigs.
Okay.
You know, if it's like a money gig and like the crowd's kind of filtered out, you know, kind of passed through a little bit, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
If I like the song, yeah, definitely with those conditions, and I really like
Yes.
that song, then
Yeah.
I'll run it back.
Well, I've had that happen with Bruno Mars, and I honestly really like a couple of those new tracks that he's had. Like
Yeah.
I think Chunky is fire, and a few of them are really good. So like if somebody asks me to play Bruno, I usually just play like all 5 of his songs in a row because they
The Bruno block.
Yeah, and then I go from the finesse, you know, dun, 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 and then I just go into Poison, you know,
Yeah.
from Bill Bell DeVoe, and then I
Yeah.
just move on from there, you know. So
Yeah.
I was just
Thought you
you
meant
know just curious. You know.
Not Poison the band.
No, unfortunately not. What is
I was
that's-
watching clips of they have a continuing series of Boiler Room mishaps.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like people messing with the DJs and stuff, and they had Kate Tronada was on there doing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That
That
was
was
bad.
That was so
was
funny.
real
I
bad.
saw the super clip of him just like getting messed with throughout the whole set. Just people up on his shoulder and like trying to talk to
There
him.
was like
and
one
stuff.
dude that just would not leave him alone. He was like touching his equipment.
They show clips of people like stumbling up and spilling drinks on controllers, like hitting the stop button on the turntable. Like it was pretty fun.
Yeah, and
Just when you get people surrounding you on all sides. Like,
Yeah.
you
it's
don't get
really
the
sad
privacy.
because experiences like that for Kate Tronada are like a big reason like why he doesn't perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's
That's
like
what
all
happened
these.
to Dallas. That's why he don't come here no more.
Yeah.
'cause
For real?
They did
Really?
not mess with him. They were like really bad about it. So
Oh
That's
wow.
not fair. He's such a nice kid. He's got a beautiful smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, great music too.
wanna see
Have
him.
you met him? Have
Have
you?
you-
You
no.
never saw him?
No, I'd love to.
You always
I love his music.
I always find that you like have
Yeah, he
seen
makes
he don't come
people
out
where
here,
I'm like,
man.
you saw FKJ?
He
I'm
came
like,
out here
"Oh,
one
yeah.
year, like I think it was for Jambalaya, like
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
It was last year, wasn't it?
3 years ago.
Oh,
I
was it
think.
3? Okay.
And he was like, I don't mess with Dallas.
Yeah.
He
So-
said it on the mic.
He
That's
tweeted
the
it.
end
He
of
was
that
like,
chapter.
He's like, y'all don't rock with me. I'm not coming back.
Now here's what I'm gonna say, and you know I'm not no shade, but like Jambalaya does not really seem like a festival that Kate Tronada would want to.
Yeah, that's
No.
what I said.
As far
Yeah.
and like
There's
that's
no
not
vowels.
a
I
knock
figured
on
it'd be
it's,
perfect.
it's just like it's
Isn't
not a
he-
knock on the festival. It's like the placement of him with a bunch of other kind of like rap and trap and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know, like I think he would have been great at like the Mad Decent Block Party. You know, with like Grizz
Yeah.
and those other guys.
That'd
Like,
be
that
cool.
might have been more of his vibe. I don't know if they even had that this year. I think they realized it was too hot under that bridge.
Yeah.
They were doing it under.
Even like New Math
Thank you,
Records had
Gabby
that
from the
thing.
side, throwing it out there. You know, she's the information person. She's over
Thank
there.
you,
She's
Gabby.
making
Fact
sure
checking.
all of our facts are on point.
Fact checking it on Facebook.
Yeah, she's-
yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Fact
Ask
checking
Jeeves.
on Facebook. Yeah.
Head
So-
researcher. Gabby.
Oh, I haven't heard that in a while.
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeez, bro. I
Man,
used to use
yeah.
Decent
that.
block party.
And then it was just ask.com.
That's how I got my
and,
homework done, man.
Yeah, I know. No, like,
Sure.
Ask Jeez.
what happened
Yeah.
to Jeeves, man?
What was crazy is it got to a point where
Went to college.
teachers and professors were using the same questions over and over and over again on tests that you could just type the exact question in and it would pop up under like Ask Google or like Google
Still can.
questions.
Study Blue.
Yeah.
Hit that up.
Yeah, exactly.
Any college
All-
kids looking out there?
all you kids out there, yeah. So, yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that, but
I don't know.
anyways,
We kind of got off that.
yeah,
so
we'll
it's
get
fine.
we'll get back to the whole music discussion.
Let's
So,
talk more about Kate Tronada's smile.
if you want to, go right ahead.
we
You
just
could-
put
you could-
pictures of him smiling on
Yeah,
the
we should
screen
all just
instead of
worn
us.
Kate Tronada masks.
Shout out Kate Tronada, bro.
Yeah, shout out you, dude. Like,
Shouts out to Kate Tronada.
I play, and I find that when I play his stuff, when I play it in sets, people like it. Like I play, I think it was a Janet Jackson remix that he did, more of a house vibe, and his
good.
his Beyonce "We Like to Party" remix is awesome.
Yeah,
like you know that one's really good.
He's a good flipper, man.
Yeah, that guy's got some skill. So speaking of flippers, let's talk about who are
Dolphins?
I thought so, dude. Yeah. Well, when I got in the car the other day, you
Sample
were
that
listening to
now.
what
Somebody's gotta
Dolphin
do a flipper
noises
beat.
by Kill the Noise or whatever.
Yeah, I just have a Spotify playlist. It's like 2,000 songs of everything that I've like not
Add the library.
Coded
Add
by
the
genre.
library. Add the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah.
Add the
whatever.
library.
Yeah.
So like if we go around and you
So
ask
it's in
like
there.
who are your favorite flippers? Who flips beats? You know, it's a little bit different from like, you know, making you know from scratch. So who takes something and flips it really well?
I love the way Mind Design flips samples because he puts so much of himself into those flips. Shouts out to Ringo. There's just you can only almost hardly tell that it's been sampled. There's just such I don't know, so personal. So his voice is all over that stuff. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that video of him in the thrift shop when he finds like that.
Yeah,
scent
Camel
that's-
Blues.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
always a cool one. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What about you, Lofty? Do you have a personal favorite flipper?
Favorite flipper?
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk, right off the top.
1993 Elijah Woods.
Yeah, the first person that I can think of is like Tom Misch. I think Tom Misch is real nice.
I saw his Tiny Desk concert this morning.
Yeah,
it's pretty. When he sings, he does this little thing. It's so cute.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about Tom Misch is that he reminds me of all you jazz bros out there, and I genuinely don't like you guys.
Super awful jazz bros.
For real.
Those jazz bros?
Yeah, I don't know.
They look like jazz bros.
But y'all really make me mad for real.
Shouts out to Jazz Bros.
Yeah, shout outs to the Jazz Bros.
Yeah.
Body English. This is disregarding to you guys.
Okay.
Jordan Gaines solo face is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
That dude gets into it.
It's Jordan Gaines solo face.
Yeah, his was good. Or I forget Leland Rooney. Did you ever know him? He had long blonde hair.
Yeah, Leland's real cool.
That guy like when he soloed, man, it was like he stayed real still and this just shredded. He would just close his eyes and just go for it, man.
Yeah, there were a couple times where I was, talking with some jazz people, and I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, I make music too. Like, I'm producer, DJ, and this whole like squad of jazz bros was like, oh, so we're enemies. So I'm a musician and you're a DJ, so we're enemies.
I'm gonna sample you into oblivion too.
Yeah, it's like, why
That's what you do,
would
man.
you say that?
Show up with a recorder and just record them at the 5 o'clock.
Because if you have fire music, aren't like shouldn't I be your best friend?
Yeah,
because I'll be playing it in the clubs.
Yeah, right here.
I don't know.
That was Lil Yachty, and this will be the 5 o'clock jazz band with Smelling the Flowers on the way home.
Hey, man, I go to a jazz club.
Live from Spearmint.
I would definitely turn up to that.
Yeah, I would too. And I shouldn't say that I don't like all y'all jazz bros, but some of y'all really just get under my skin.
Every once in a while,
Chill out, jazz bros.
You got to understand. Yep. So what about you, Mercy? Do you have a favorite, somebody who flips beats that you really enjoy?
Like, I'd say like Knowledge or Monomari. He's really good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nice.
No one really bumps with Monomari, but he's a he's a LA guy.
Yeah,
really good flips. He's like
Knowledge kills it.
He's like a step below Knowledge, but
you got Knowledge Light and Obliv.
Yeah.
Word.
Oh yeah,
Obliv's like too. Knowledge Light.
What about you, man?
I don't know if I have anybody specific.
It's that one that doo-wop song you always play. I always forget the name of.
Oh, that's I don't know how to say it though. Galimatias.
Oh, Galimatias. Yeah, Galimatias.
Oh yeah,
that's
really
dude.
Is that? But
that
I'm not.
Guy's an awesome producer too.
Yeah, I don't know if those are
flipped
or flips. I think they're just his.
Are they okay?
I
That's
think
even
so.
cooler.
But
I don't know. I assumed he was sampling.
I'm sure he does sample. I think most of
the stuff. Our Dallas boy Medicine does a pretty good job.
Yeah. That
Did you?
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah. Was he a nice guy?
Yeah, he's so nice.
Okay, all right.
I've never met him. I've heard really nice things about him.
When I first started this show, I messaged him on SoundCloud about it, and he told me to direct message him on Twitter, but I never heard from him. So maybe one day. I would just, it'd be cool to talk to him and just ask him what those. He's been touring like crazy and playing all the festivals. So, be like, what's up? I read an article about him one time. That was a very well written article. So, seems like a down home cat. It's always good to have. That's too. I can't repeat that. It's
a lot of Gabby's well connected in the scene.
I know.
That's what she's saying.
She's flexing over there.
She knows so many people that know so many other people.
This is dangerous. There was a guy who I really like, and I believe that it was like BSDM.
Yeah.
That dude.
That guy's really good.
Can flip some stuff. And then when I first found Knowledge, I thought he was really cool too.
Yeah.
I think he wasn't his picture like from Martin or something, like going like this.
Yeah,
and there was a track. And then Leaf Beach does a really good job of flipping stuff too.
I got his tape recently. Shouts out to Leaf Beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the way Leaf Beach.
I got his tape. It came from Germany. I know he lives in Plano, so I thought that was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. And even for show, like another cat, like I really enjoy like the stuff that he does and that he flips as well. So.
Dude, I saw him open for My Design last year, and it was so funny because he's got there with the SP and he plays a beat and then it stops and people clap.
Yeah.
And then he plays another beat and he stops and people clap, and that was just like, we made it. We
did it. We made it. Yeah.
Beat music is real.
Yeah. That's actually that's a good. Like, how do you were you kind of taken off guard by that at first?
Oh yeah. I was proud in the moment too. It's just like we got all these people here to see these guys do this kind of music, and then they're enjoying it and they're giving it that proper musical respect that you do.
Is this in Dallas?
Yeah, it was at RBC.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
It was last summer. I just thought that was I was taken aback for a moment, and then I celebrated the fact that I wanted that to happen. You know? It's nice to hear when people just when some, a song ends and everybody's just like, wow, whatever. Are you gonna play another one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like,
hey,
in that that the DJ culture, is it one of those things where, or I guess, okay, so here's what I'm saying: the computer. When you have a computer in front of you, people will automatically assume you're a DJ. It doesn't matter if you have a keyboard there too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is my experience with some people, not everybody, but they'll be like, "Hey, what are you playing?" And so, like, the other night at J&J's, there were a few times when I would kind of just have liked to kind of have the song fade off and let it do its thing, and then start something new up, but I wanted to do it that DJ way because I felt like that's what is expected of me to do.
Right.
I try to think of it as the show you're trying to put forth. The way in which you're presenting this music. How does it flow? Is there a composition to the entire set, and then how those things are pieced together and how you want things to translate? Because you can do hard stops, sit there, wait a moment, and then continue if that's part of the idea.
Yeah.
If it is effective, like if sucking the air out of the room for a moment by being silent.
Like you do that, you'll pull the whole track down and then bring it up on the kick.
But building up anticipation.
Yeah,
and then
which works
disappointing in a moment and then coming back. And
you got to disappoint them.
Well, I was just trying to catch people listening. It's like if the music stops for a moment, they're like, "What?" And then as soon as it comes back, they're like, "I'm paying attention." Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
On Ableton, on my control, hit tune out that song, and they'll and then click it right back in. Gotcha.
Attention grabbers.
Or if you
still
play,
there,
play a song that people know a lot of the words to, and then click it off during the chorus and see who's all singing, and then they all realize they just got caught, and then click it back on. And then the people who weren't singing it are like, "Oh, maybe we should sing."
Shout out Fry Street.
Yeah.
Dude, I was DJing on Fry Street one time. Rip Rocks put me up.
Ooh.
And
in front of the darts.
No, not in front of the darts. I was out on the patio.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I don't think they want me back. I don't think Rip Rocks wants me back particularly.
What did you do?
Well, I guess I just had the PAs turned up too high. I was killing the mix the whole night, and the manager there was like, "Yeah, just play all the trap hits." And so I was doing that. I was playing Playboy Cardi. I was playing Lil Uzi Vert. I was playing, Gucci Mane.
He told you what to play?
Well, he was like, we already have a 90s night. So, if you can stray away from stuff like that, because we want to keep our nights different.
One more time.
And so I was like, okay.
I would like to get to know.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yes. R.I.P. Aaliyah.
Yeah. But, they told me to turn the PAs down a couple times, and I did. Both times, and
you got double warning.
They still yelled at me, and I asked my friend who worked there the next day. I was like, "Hey, were you guys satisfied with my performance there the other night?" And she was like, "Dude, all the bartenders there thought you were a total a-hole," and I was like, "Dude, why? I'm so nice and respectful to everyone." And they're like, "Yeah." She was like, they thought your PAs were too loud, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Were they yours?
No, they were Rip Rock's PAs.
Oh, all right.
Like
well.
somebody set them up for you?
No, I set them up.
Okay.
But
there's only one. Okay, whatever. Anyways, we won't discuss that.
Patio.
Yeah,
situation
it's like to the
somewhere?
right.
Yeah. I haven't played there. I met a girl who actually interviewed DJ Yuna. She plays all over the dude. This girl plays at malls and Top Golfs and
I've seen her come up on recommended friends.
Yeah. She's super cool. I interviewed her here.
Oh, where is she local? Where's she at?
No, she's down in Dallas.
Okay.
She drove up here to come.
No,
she drove up here to come
right
hang
now.
out. Her favorite snack was avocados and Icelandic sea salt. It was the Icelandic sea salt's why I remember that.
That sounds like a meal. That don't sound like a snack.
But that got me thinking what other places could you expand to, as far as DJing, so you don't have to just play at bars. You don't have to just play here. Me and Jared actually hit up a bunch of 24-hour fitnesses to see if we could come play gym bro mixes.
Yeah.
And come there and DJ. I told y'all the other night there was a guy who DJ Lightbright had a friend who DJ'd at H&M for 8 hours, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. That's what this guy would do. So are there other places where you feel like,
crazy.
Because really a DJ can be anywhere because it hardly takes any equipment at all. And you can literally have one PA, two PAs, however much equipment you need. So what if you had to think of some untapped, you know, like resources or places that might appreciate that type of thing, where would it be? You know,
I would love to play at a Chipotle.
Yeah.
I think I've been going to Chipotle for like 15 years, and I've often enjoyed what they played. Like, I even saw a Facebook memory the other day from like 4 or 5 years ago where I was sitting at Chipotle for like an hour, and they played 4 or 5 Dilla tracks. And not even in a row, but just over like a half hour, an hour. There was a bunch of Dilla, and I was like, this is great. What a day.
Holler at the manager.
So, yeah, just pop in a corner, get a burrito, and do the thing.
Yeah. Well, you know, DJ Lightbright's doing the Torchies. He's DJing the Torchies opening.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah, up here in Denton. So when
I'm going to have to go to that.
Yeah, I'm hitting that up for sure.
Their queso was amazing.
For sure. Yeah. Man, like, I would always wanted to do something like in the bottom of recycled books, you know, and like not even really but just be there and like
as
people
a history
like,
guy.
oh yeah, people like
That would
walking
be-
around, they're like, what's going on in here? You know, like that would be fun.
That'd be a cool spot to
Yeah,
film it.
Yeah,
too.
to do that. Yeah.
Broadcast.
Yeah. That spot would be nice, man. That's what or another one. I mean, I've just always wanted to do a set on top of recycled books. That huge patio over there, man. I've been trying to find somebody who knows those people for a while.
Yeah.
I know you can climb up on top of the Texas building across the
Yeah,
way.
but,
I've climbed
you
up there
know,
before.
I thought about it once, and then
hauling gear up there. It's-
Barley and Board was there, and I kind of went up, and then I got scared and ran back.
Yeah.
Because who knows? Somebody's gonna see me, and you know, apparently you're not supposed to do it, but who knows?
You're rather obvious.
Yeah, with the red hair and the, you know, very bright. You know, very
All the
poor-
yelling.
Very loud, shock of red hair.
all the yelling, all of that fun stuff. Ian, if you had to think of a spot, man, where would you go?
I have no idea. They already have DJs at like all the places.
What if we had TJs at DJs at TJs?
TJ Maxx.
A TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
I feel like
Call
we're,
it DJ
we're so
Maxx.
food related.
Yeah, DJ to the max.
Add extra X's on it.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe at an academy.
Yeah.
You know,
Just a used car dealership.
That's
Go down a station.
That's
Maurice,
perfectly possible too. Actually, you could be like, "Look, you guys want to have a sale one day? Get an inflatable flailing arm guy, throw me down there."
We need to get a
You'd be
cart.
selling used Nissans. Like
You get a cart with PA system on it and all the gear, and then just like sadly walk around town.
Dude, you know what I want to do?
DJ?
All right, I want to get in a convertible and like that, and put some speakers on the convertible and just like drive around the city and just like
Real
play a set.
Mobile
cool,
DJ
man.
rig.
Yeah.
That's like back in the
Yeah.
day when people
Tiffany
just used to
It's like a
cruise.
parade.
Yeah.
Tiffany Johnson had that wireless PA at one point.
Yeah.
It's a little, I think it's at backyard
my
still,
God.
but like it's a little thing. But I mean, it'll bump
Yeah.
a room. But I don't know about a
I
car.
shouldn't have said
Let's
this
do
out
it.
loud. I don't want to take this
Idea.
No, we want to do it though.
Yeah.
I
Hold
want like a
up,
pickup
let's do
truck
it.
though, and they
Hold
don't
up.
have
I have the
convertible
pickup truck.
trucks.
I have the pickup
It's not
truck.
convertible though.
I've got
I got-
PAs.
But we could
got
do a lo-fi
doing it.
parade.
Dude,
Yeah.
we can do both pickups. You can do
is everyone
mine
just
and then
real
yours.
sad the whole time, or like
Yeah.
You have to drive real slow, bro.
Yeah.
we have to have
Like-
places giving out samples?
Like
Yeah.
50 miles an
No,
hour.
Not
we're,
even-
we're giving the samples out. We're just throwing like melons, like we throwing strawberries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just catch them.
Pineapple slices here. Hey, did you use that pineapple in some stir fry? Nice.
Pineapple stir fry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That sound like a
I told-
remix to like that song Stir Fry,
pineapple
stir
stir
fry?
fry.
but
Yeah.
it's like one of those ones you see on YouTube. Back
That's
in, like,
definitely the name of
2002.
my next track.
Pineapple stir fry.
Pineapple
That's a good,
Stolen
that's a good
pineapple
one.
stir fry, man.
Just don't take the
Snatch it
convertible
up.
thing from
No,
me.
I
You
won't
can have
steal that
that.
from you. We just got to find a convertible. There's got to be one out there.
Get that dude.
Shouts out
somewhere
to
in the
anyone
world.
who's got a
I
convertible.
mean, we could do it
need
in the
one.
back of a pickup truck.
Yeah,
but
let's do it.
Well, I want to do that thing where I had you on my shoulders and you were walking around making a beat.
Yeah. That'd be
that would
cool.
look really trippy, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
If I saw that coming at me, I don't
just-
know.
Get
Yeah.
like the drumline straps.
Yeah.
Just controllers. Just all wire on place.
All of, like 5 of us just walking, just like
Yeah.
Or
in
like
sync.
the beat.
Yeah. We'll just all be different instruments.
The beatbox barbershop quartet where everybody does a different drum. One person's the kick, one's the snare.
We
Exactly.
got somebody on the sample and the synth and the bass.
Yeah.
Shoot, I mean, Badu basically did that with the cannabinoids a bunch of years ago.
Yeah,
They would do like a roundtable thing. And everybody play like one sound, and they just make this beat out of it, and just keep going. That was pretty cool.
We should have
Yeah,
did that
for sure.
today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
like, you know, when Ben Buck, when he came to town, that was pretty sweet.
Man,
with,
that was
with,
special.
with his style and
that
what he
neat.
was doing.
So raw. and
Yeah,
man.
Weird.
yeah.
Centric.
But
Yeah.
like what he can do with his voice, like as far as the bass drum goes, like I asked him, I was like, why did you go to? He was like, he just said he was like, the voice just seemed like the most natural thing to go to. You know, like that's just like what felt like normal to him, you know, to begin with. So, but you know, we just had the Breakfast and Beats 1 year anniversary the other day.
Congratulations, everybody.
Which was a super good time. It was very hot.
Yeah.
And Lofty, the weather this week is like 95. So if you want to do it inside, you know, we can always do it inside. So
honestly, sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I was like,
cancel all events until
this week we'll have it inside. Just because last week nearly
inside's
like
cool.
Just get one of those big fans from like Walmart.
They were talking about that. I was talking to Zach about it. Zach was saying they were talking about getting.
Man, you can, but it's like how many things are you gonna buy to battle nature to the point where you just have to accept like it's 103 degrees outside.
Okay.
You can straight up cook eggs.
Yeah.
Like you can do it on a hot enough surface. Right there.
Wear natural fibers and don't complain so much.
Exactly.
Let's all get through this.
Yeah, like you said, you just have to accept it. You just gotta accept it.
Take that L.
Yep.
You really gotta take that L.
So
you have none.
Let's talk this. This is something that I always like to see. So we do have Breakfast coming up.
Yes, we do. Everybody, Breakfast.
Yeah, right now it's scheduled for September. We might swap things around just because there's another festival that's going to be kind of like west of town that week as well. So if you had to pick, let's say we got to pick like, you know, we had no, you know, dollars was no option. Who are like, you know, who are the 3 people? We'll start with Ian here. Who are the yeah. Or whoever's got the idea first. Fine, we'll start in the middle with
like nationally.
Yeah, like who would you bring? 3 people you could bring to the festival. It doesn't even have to be like dance music or beats. You know, like who would you bring out?
I don't know. That's a lot.
Or I can say it's beats and it's like electronically included. That way it brings it down a little bit more. You know. If we have too much silence, we'll just have Sanford take over.
It's going to be silence for
I got it. Yeah, definitely Kiefer. I want to see him. And, it would fit really well. And, Kiefer, Knowledge would be cool. Just to
I saw him in Austin. That was great.
Yeah. And, shoot. Who's been real hot right now?
Real hot on
there's
streets,
a lot.
man.
Definitely Kiefer. That new album's so good.
Was that 2?
Yeah.
I need 3, dog.
Yeah, no, I know. There's so many. I mean, I'd love to get
just yourself. You'd open for him.
Yeah, let me do
all right, cool. Sanford, Lofty?
I definitely, I would like, I want Pierre Bournes to come out and do a DJ set or a beat set. That's Playboy Cardi's producer.
Okay.
Who's one of my favorite producers. I think that guy's great. Let's see. Probably like Uno the Activist. He's this pretty hype rapper right now.
All right.
Let's see. Who else? I would also really want Metro Boomin to come out and do a DJ set. I think that would be cool at Breakfast.
Hasn't he played? Boomin has played DJ sets, I thought. Like,
yeah,
he
does.
Has done it
he was here in Dallas, wasn't he? Like 2 years ago?
Quite possible. And does he only produce for Future, or does he produce for tons of
different people? Produced for like 21 Savage, you know, Gucci Mane, like, you know, all of those guys like Lil Yachty and
Do you know his story at all? I don't know anything about that guy.
No, I don't really know Metro Boomin's story, but that guy is great.
He was just like the first guy to like talk about like Skype or something. He was or not Skype, but Splice.
Oh, Splice.
Yeah, he's like, I just get my tons of samples and stuff off of that. So, what would you go with?
Who? Like who would I?
Yeah, who would you choose? Yeah,
3.
Yeah, 3 people that you could put on Breakfast if they, you know, if you just put anybody.
Gotta go with Philo for sure.
All right.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. It was like he's so far beyond us now.
No, he's not, man. He's not far beyond us. He's still here.
I'd hang out with Steven.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't let him play. I just let him be in the crowd.
Yeah.
Could you just be?
He gives you a thumbs up.
I think I would just let him be there on stage, like.
Just as that OG.
Sitting in a recliner reading a comic book.
Have that OG doing something weird.
Give him a big plush chair.
Yeah, because it's almost more lit when somebody just like comes. To
yeah, right.
Like,
they're just hanging out.
Because like when I saw him, one of the times I saw him, like Chance just like randomly showed up, and I was like, what? And everyone just like, people who probably didn't really listen to Philo, they knew who Chance was. So when they saw Chance get on stage, they were like, oh, and then it got real. Then he started going off.
Because it's like that cosign.
Yeah.
Like Chance
like,
cosign.
Chance messes with this guy? Like,
it's
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, Steve's been getting slowly cosigned more and more as the years go by.
I feel like he's always done it, but he kind of just turns him down. Yeah. Like he just, he does his own thing. It's just like whatever.
He never works with rappers.
He said what?
Never works with rappers.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. He did like that Weezy remix and that's it.
Yeah. Didn't he do one years ago? Like years ago.
Didn't he do one with Anderson .Paak?
It's not released yet, but there was talk of that.
There's talks of him doing stuff with so many rappers. There was the one that he did with Chance that he got real mad about. But I guess they're cool now, so I don't know.
Interesting.
Gets a little frustrated, I guess. Man, I would bring Lapalux from England.
I really would too.
I haven't heard that guy.
I saw him in Austin 2.5, probably maybe 3 years ago, and it was awesome, man.
Very different.
Yeah, I really enjoy his stuff. I would love to see Ian Ewing.
Yeah, that's one.
I've never seen him.
I feel like that would be an easy pluck.
Yeah, that would be a cool one. And then, man, I would.
You don't want your boy Flamingosa to come out?
Man, you guys obviously think that's what I'm gonna choose first off. So I couldn't give y'all what I would choose. That would be cool to have that, dude.
It really would.
But man, even to bring out like bonus points or Googans would be cool. You know, but like
I need to see.
I want to see Mount Kimby actually out here.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So like, you know, Ian Ewing, you know, Lapalux, and then man, let me think.
No rappers.
Man, I don't know, like, cause I don't know, like they could have features and stuff, but I don't listen to a lot of rap anymore.
There's not one rapper that
you know who I want to see? I want to see Ant from Atmosphere do a DJ set. Okay. I love that guy's beats. Yeah. I really do appreciate his tunes, especially because he was making a lot of that stuff in the '90s, and he looks like Steven Seagal, you know. So and when I met both those guys, they were super friendly, really nice people.
You met Ant and Slug?
Yeah,
really?
Down in Austin.
Oh, wow.
I was down there when I lived there. I mean, this is almost 10 years ago, and it was when Life Gives You Lemons. You know.
Oh wow.
When that came out, so I drove down to the.
That's like the album.
Yeah. That was the one that like he was on MTV all of a sudden and that kind of thing, and even he was like, "What is going on?" And I drove down to the Waterloo Records that was on 9th. Like 9th Street, and what's the other like main road that Pateri's is on when you're driving down, or one of the Pateri's, like by
Pateri's?
Yeah, you're going down to Barton Springs. Yeah, my bad. I meant Pateri's. You know,
there's a period after
what is that called, man? That
a pterodactyl.
No, it's not Congress, man. I can't remember the name of it.
Which Pateri's? The one
it's the one down by Barton Springs. So you're driving down that road, and then there's a
I'm an
Pateri's
Austin
on
native,
your
and I'm
side.
so bad with like directions.
Yeah, and okay, so there's you know the Peter Pan golf putting place.
Yeah, my little cousin Matthew had his fifth birthday party.
Yeah, so what's the road that you're going straight down, and then you have to take a left to get there?
Is that Congress?
Maybe it is Congress.
Is that South Congress?
I thought
that was South
Congress.
Yeah,
call it Congress. Let's move on.
It's Congress. So yeah, I got to go down there. Walked in. I thought there was gonna be a whole bunch of people there. I was the first person in line, and met him. And I asked him like, you know, what do you have in your freezer? He was like, Minneapolis State Fair. Like, that was my question. I was like, what do you keep in the freezer? It's like, Minneapolis State Fair corn dogs.
White Castle.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
That's what's up. That guy is
Minneapolis State Fair.
He's the hometown hero for Minneapolis,
yeah,
for sure.
I always liked
Slug, yeah.
I always liked the line where he was like, he's like writing a song where he's like working at a gas station. He's like, I didn't think much of his ski mask. It's Minnesota, man. Your face will freeze fast.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, it's not different for a guy to walk into a gas station when it's minus 30.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, man, I would love to see Ant do a DJ set. He'd probably be just like Mind Design or for show, where he would just play his tracks and be like, look, I'm OG enough to just, next one.
Done.
Yeah.
Get out.
You know, like that would be sweet.
I don't know, but that guy's like super cold at like scratching and turntablism and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he'd really come with
deep cuts.
Yeah. When he would go on tour with them, when he went with when they finally started going with a live band, because he never even toured with Slug when he like made the beats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was another guy who was with him. I'm forgetting his name right now. But like when he comes, he just sat off to the side with a Budweiser and a cigarette and had like a computer in front of him and would just like and just bob his head, and then every once in a while go like this. I was like, maybe he's just adjusting levels on certain things, or maybe the kicks, or who knows.
He's looking.
Yeah,
he's looking for that next cut.
He was just killing it. He was just killing it. So,
well, if we're doing fantasies, I want Fat John to come to our.
Yes, Fat John.
I want
big facts.
I want Fat John to move back here from Germany.
We still got to get to you. You
I
got
know.
something?
I was waiting.
Yeah.
I have things.
Yeah,
I think
we just got a few minutes left.
If I'm plucking names out at random,
send him a message on Facebook last week.
I'll go. I thought Sean came to mind. I think people would like them here.
Sean would be nice.
And that'd be cool. I'll go for Oliver Tree because his name came up, and I'd like to see what an Oliver Tree show is like.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
and then,
that would be extremely lit.
Okay.
Probably, I don't know, then bring somebody maybe like X and G because it's more kind of dance-based music, but not so noisy in your face that I think people would be too overwhelmed.
Nice, man. That's what's up.
And Oliver Tree would be dope, actually.
So yeah, very cool. So fellas, we're about to close it out here. We're about to close it out, but I know that Sanford's got a show coming up.
I do. Friday at Harvest House.
Yeah.
Super Dope 3. Playing from 9 to 1.
Yep.
Ooh.
That
Super
long
marathon.
set.
Yeah,
dude. Anybody else got shows coming up?
We're all doing Thursday at the Monk.
Yeah, a lot of us have
Apparently.
Thursday at the Monk. The three of us.
Yeah.
Are that.
Next one for me is Body English is the move on Monday.
Nice.
So we're gonna have Mecca come out for that. So Body English has learned all of Mecca's songs.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And they're gonna play, and it's gonna. I already know I'm probably gonna cry.
Yeah, and then we got Breakfast and Beats this week as well, bringing out So-So. Finally, is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
Okay.
Yeah, I confirmed
So-So.
that. Yeah, Garen
I was
Powers.
gonna say he can't play outside with his mask and the black gear that he wears.
No.
He's doing all that?
No, I don't think so.
He's gonna change it up.
Yeah. Keep it low key.
So
Overheating that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then we also have Bashunin and Beats Volume 3.
Yes.
Which is July 23rd.
23rd.
So we got that coming up, and then I'll be at Harvest House on July 13th.
That's right. I
One
saw
week
you on
after you,
poster.
man.
Very
Exactly.
nice. Boys making moves.
Exactly. Boys making them moves, and then we're
So-
doing the 4th of July party on tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. That's right.
Oh, that's the Monk, right?
No,
Nah,
it's
that's a private. Yeah.
Where y'all doing that?
the dark blue waters.
You're in on this too?
No, I'm just surprised today's the 3rd. That's why I was
Yeah,
like,
right already.
No.
Let's do.
What else we got?
Secret
Yeah.
4th of
Tell
July
the
party
people what Bashonin Beats is.
Bashunin and Beats is a combination of lo-fi hip-hop and other genres of electronic music, while we also project beautiful anime visuals for about 2 hours
Kinda
at J&J's in the basement.
Original music,
Yeah.
abstracted visuals.
Abstract, different performances, different styles. It gives us a platform to try things that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
that's
had,
kind of the whole thing is experimentation.
We had the Always Proper Cats come out last time for show in Leaf Beach and Memory and the fourth guy. Someone.
Yeah.
Someone, thank
oh,
you.
someone was here?
Yeah.
What?
And then this past time we had
Bro, he comes through like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, when we book him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't just come to chill.
No.
But
Those
like,
guys don't really mess with us like that.
Not a lot.
So,
That's
but
not
they
before his
could.
word.
We're going to talk.
Apparently,
We're going
yeah.
to talk because they do.
Apparently.
all right.
No,
do.
yeah. The
Yeah,
Memory's been
they
real
want
cool.
they want to.
Mikey and I met
All right.
in Dallas last
All right,
year.
that's a bet.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have to close it out because up next we got Ellie Bell and the Denton Vibe coming on. Always excited. Thank you to the Breakfast Boys and Gabby for hanging out with us.
Breakfast Girl.
Yeah,
Gal.
Breakfast Girl.
Breakfast
Exactly.
gal.
Y'all tune in next week. I
Texas.
got Pudge Brewer. He's gonna show up for the interview this time. I'm pretty excited for that. We're
Proven.
gonna talk his new album.
He
had
didn't
an
show up
album
last
release.
time. What's he doing,
forgot.
man?
Dude, he forgot.
Plum
I don't even
forgot.
know. So, anyways, y'all take it easy. We got Ellie Bell and the Denton Vibe up next. Thanks for hanging out with us. Peace.
Peace,
y'all.
peace, 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 peace.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.